Hey everybody, welcome to Airsoftology Mondays, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and also is going to have some really cool guest hosts. I'm your host, Jonathan Higgs, and yes, I got a couple of crazy announcements on two different sides of the spectrum. One, I'm working on a gun project. You're going to hear about the other one here in a second, and I want to show you guys this. I was able to get a hold of a very rare unicorn. Yep, you guys know what this is. It is a G17, it's Tokyo Marui, and there's a reason I have this because I'm working on a little secret project. So guys, if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel already, definitely hit that subscribe button because this week I'm gonna have a neat little video showing you guys what I'm working on with this. And I want to tell you what, this sucker was hard to track down. I'm not gonna lie. If you live in the US, these things are incredibly difficult, but it's worth it because really cool build project going on with that. Also, the other big news, next week, I'm gonna have a little help here in Airsoftology Monday. Somebody's gonna be joining us here in the ranks to answer your questions. So here is a mission for you before we get into the questions for this week. I want you to ask your best question for Novrich. That's right, Novrich is gonna be right here in the studio on the channel asking anything you guys want to know. So I'm sure you're going to be dusting off some of those sniper questions, maybe some YouTube video questions, and perhaps the benefits of a Tokyo Marui full auto Glock 18C that he uses so often. So yes, dust off anything and everything you want to ask Novrich, whether it is sniper related or just something off the wall, and have it ready. Put them down there below because that is going to be next week's assistant guest host. I'll be kind of kicking the show off, then I'll turn it over to him to answer all of your questions. And with that big bombshell, we're going to dive on into the questions this week. But quick shout out first to my buddy Pacific Northwest Punk, or PNW Punk, here with his t-shirt. Definitely had to rock it for the show to show you guys what he has to offer. If you guys don't follow him, hit him up. I'll put his social media links down there in the description below. But now enough of my yammering. It's time for what you're really here for, and that is the Palco mail call. Samuel Bailey writes, is it worth it to carry grenades, smoke, tornado, and bangers? Why or why not? So it'll be pretty rare to find me on the battlefield without some sort of grenade, but it really depends on the field I'm playing at, what I bring with me. So let's say I'm going to play at SC Village. Obviously smoke grenades aren't allowed, but I probably wouldn't use them there anyway, but I'm definitely gonna be bringing some bangers with me to clear out those buildings. The banger rule, like grenade rule, is amazing. So that's the time you wanna use tornado grenades. Anytime you're in a really tight mount facility, and if you guys know, that's military operations and urban terrain is kind of what mount stands for. And basically that means you're fighting in close quarters with a lot of buildings. Having some sort of a grenade, like a tornado grenade, I prefer the impacts personally, or something like a Thunderbee grenade is great. Anything you can get that kill off. In fact, the new tornado grenades, the Cyclones, are pretty darn good as well. Then if you move to the outdoors, like you're playing at an outdoor skirmish field or even a big mil sim op, you're definitely gonna find me with some smoke grenades. I'm a huge fan of Enola Gay smokes, especially the new EG-18s and the EG-18Xs, which dump smoke faster, about the same amount of smoke, a little more with the X, but does it quicker. You can really create concealment. Now, cover, if you guys don't know, is something that'll stop a bullet, or in this case, a BB. Concealment just kind of hides you. It won't stop anything, it won't stop the BBs from coming in. But when you've got to cover a large open area, having a smoke grenade is critical. So yes, in fact, you will always find me with something along those lines, whether it's actually a flashbang like a Thunderbee, you're going to find me with a tornado grenade like the Cyclone or the Impact Tornado, so I actually can take out enemies based on field rules, or playing outside, some kind of big smoke grenade. I'm always going to have something in the arsenal. Tyson Ollinghouse writes, are you able to fly with LiPo batteries without them exploding? And can you fly with a regular nickel cadmium battery as well? Thanks. So yes, you can, but there are differences between the two. So if you're running with a nickel cadmium, like your old batteries like the NiCads, or the nickel metal hydride batteries, so those are your standard airsoft batteries, not LiPos, those can go in checked baggage. There's no concern there. You can actually put the batteries in the baggage, check it in. If you're flying, and I know this stands true for America, I'm not sure outside of America, but it's probably a pretty safe thing to do. If you're flying with LiPo batteries, they have to be with you on your carry-on, so they cannot be in your checked baggage. And the reason for that is if they get ruptured or busted, which can happen if like stuff gets stacked on top of it, they get a lot of pressure, the seal snaps, they will self-ignite. And that's a big concern, right? Like all it takes is a little bit of air and all of a sudden, whoosh, up comes a fire. So they want that in the compartment. Now you would think to logic that'd be the opposite thing you'd want, but if there is an issue with one of those, it does get damaged, you can take care of it in the cabin up there with you and they can get a fire extinguisher and put it out, versus underneath the plane where there's nobody and you can have a major problem like the plane catching fire and all the luggage underneath you burning up and the plane going down. So if you are going to fly with a lithium ion battery, and this holds true for any lithium ion batteries, not just airsoft batteries. So your laptop, for example, things like that, they do have to be on your carry-on baggage when you fly. You will not be able to check that. So yes, it's actually no issue at all. I haven't any issue. I just jam them in there. You might get searched a little bit closer if you're going through the checkpoint here in America. I like brought a bunch of batteries for one game one time, 5 or 6 or 7, and they wanted to really go through my bag and check it out because it's a lot of wires. They got a little concerned. As soon as I told them what it was, they were fine with it, and I told them why I was doing it to follow the guidelines. But yeah, that's it. That's kind of the skinny on flying with batteries with airsoft. Spencer Fallon writes, "Hey Jay, I've recently run into issues with people saying my gear isn't real. They run LBX, LBT, Cry, Mayflower, and that sort of stuff. I wear a lot of Condor and Lancer tactical gear and love it. It works for me. Isn't that what matters? And why so much hate?" Man, haters gonna hate. I've said it before and I'll say it again. And a lot of people do take pride in the gear. They, spend a lot of money on it. So think of it this way. In the rest of the world, there's people that love to wear like Gucci and Armani and all that and clothes, and the women with their Fendi purses and all the fancy brand names out there. There is brand recognition and people are very proud of that. A lot of people are very brand aware and brand conscious. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have gear from Cry, I've got gear from LBX, I've got gear from LBT, Mayflower, you name it. I also have gear from Condor, I have gear from Lancer Tactical, and all through the spectrum. So for me, it's about what works. I mean, if the gear you're running works, then run it, buddy. Don't let anybody bring you down because you're not running Cry Precision. Personally, I prefer gear that has a good warranty on it. So if you got a good warranty on the gear, because I'm a little rough on my stuff, I can get it repaired, and I've had to take advantage of that warranty. And we're talking even high-end gear can get beat up. And that's kind of the bottom line here, is every piece of gear you're going to wear is going to get beat up. And I would save the money, unless you just really want to have that look and you're trying to go for an impression loadout, which sometimes I do that. Buy whatever works for you. And you know what? Condor and Lancer are perfectly fine. Well, guys, that's it for questions this week, which means it's time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one goes out to another buddy of mine. It's actually 2 weeks in a row we're giving shout outs to people who are doing some fantastic things in the airsoft community by way of media. And this one goes to Milsim Media. Now, typically Milsim Media is photography heavy. It's my buddy Daniel Castro and Russo, and both of those guys put out some amazing stuff when it comes to airsoft media by way of photography. But they're starting to get into the video side of the house, and they started with a Milsim West video, and I'm going to link it, of course, to you guys as always right down there in the description. So if you guys are interested, go check it out, click that button, and if you like what you see, hit the subscribe. It is a very new channel. It's fledgling. He's just getting it kicked off, so you're not going to have a ton of content over there, but it is some good stuff. And I actually really enjoyed this first video they put up, showing you kind of through his eye at a Milsim West game. So guys, if you are interested in picking up another channel, adding it to the subscribe list, and I'm sure if you mash that subscribe button, it'll encourage him to put up a few more of those videos. Definitely go check out the Milsim Media's channel over on YouTube, and as always, links in the description below. Well guys, that's it for this week's episode of Airsoftology Mondays. As always, thank you for joining me here, and thank you for being so awesome in the comment section below and being so cool and helping each other out. By the way, if you guys didn't watch last week's Monday, I heard you guys loud and clear. I think we're all on the same page with this whole Facebook thing. We all feel the same way, and good call on the Reddit stuff. I think you guys, Airsoft Society, Reddit, and also Airsoft Squared were 3 big recommendations I saw coming from you guys. So I think we're all going to migrate that way and maybe spend a little more time over there. In fact, you know what? I might as well get a Reddit thing fired up. So I'll try to get a Reddit channel or a little subreddit going and give you guys the links next week over to it. Also, don't forget, like I said at the top of the show, Novrich is joining us right here to answer your questions. So here's your chance to get a direct line to Novrich. I'll be letting him pick out the questions from next week's Monday. I won't even be picking them out for him. So put them down there, and remember, vote up the favorites so you can guys get them on next week. But until next week, go out, have some fun, play some airsoft, and shoot some people in the head with a sniper rifle a la Novrich. But no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.